Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you've had a chance to look at the other video that we produced so far, which is on the play, because the purpose of the bidding is to announce how many tricks you think you can make. So you'll have listened to that other video and presumably understood the principles. So as we have explained, there is a bidding box and there are a range of possible bids. I'll take out the cards from the bidding box. They run from 1 club up to 7 or trumps, and you add 6 to the number on the bidding card, which announces that you intend to make that number of tricks. It's a little quaint that you've got these, that you have to add 6, but it makes it a little bit easier to manage rather than going from 7 to 14. So that takes a little bit of getting used to, but you always add 6 to the number on the card. So you have to contract or a bid to make 7 tricks as a minimum. And the most that you can obviously make would be 13 tricks. There's some other, and the ranking of the is important, going from no trumps, spades, hearts, diamonds and clubs. So no trumps ranks above spades, above hearts, above diamonds and above clubs. So you always have to make a bid in a higher denomination or rank than the previous one. There's these other ones. Pass is self-explanatory, that you don't want to make a bid. You don't think you've got a good hand. Double and redouble are where you don't think the opponents can make it and where you think your side can make it. So you can double or quadruple the points that you get for it. There are a couple of other cards which I'll just take to show you briefly. There's an alert and a stop, which are only used in competitive play in order to conform with regulations. So we'll ignore those for this early purpose, and we are going to have a full auction in a minute. So in our example here, the person who dealt was south, and it's normally a random selection in a club, and you just cut a card to see who deals, and the highest person deals. And that person makes the first call, which can be pass or any bid from the bidding box. And this person elects to bid 1 no trump. What does that mean? He means he thinks he can make 7 tricks and he doesn't want any trumps. This person has less than an average hand and decides to pass. This person has a sort of less than an average hand, but possibly enough to help his partner, and he passes. He doesn't have a long suit he wants to bid, and this person passes as well. That's quite a common auction, occurs maybe 20% of the time, where only one person has anything to say, and then that would be the end of the auction. How do you decide what calls to make? Well, that's part of the beauty of the game, really. It is really a very rich game where you're trying to discuss with your partner how good a hand you have, and every bid you make has some meaning. So we need to look next at some alternative bids. The standard system that we are going to use is pretty much standard American or European 5-card majors, which is probably the most popular. The second most popular system in the world is the ACOL system, which is 4-card majors. What are majors? Well, majors are the hearts and spades. So they're the higher ranking of the 4 suits, and the clubs and diamonds are the lower ranking. They're the sort of least important of the suits. So we will look at some hands in a moment, and I will give some examples of what you would bid as the dealer. The bidding systems in bridge do vary on both sides of the pond, as they say, but it doesn't really matter very much as long as you agree with your partner what system you're playing. And in order to judge how many tricks to go for, you need to have a method of evaluation of the hand. And the traditional method is to only consider the aces, kings, queens and jacks, as they win most of the tricks anyway. And you give 4 for the ace in this example here, 3 for the king, 2 for the queen, either of those queens, and 1 for the jack. So we would give this what's called a high card point rating, this hand, and that comes to 4, 7, 11, 13, 14, 16. And with a little bit of practice, you can count it in 2 or 3 seconds. Most bridge players really don't spend a lot of time counting the points, and once they've been playing a little while. And that gives us an idea of what to go for. And in the American system, if you have 15 to 17 points, you begin the bidding with 1-0 trump. And you would also bid, if the opponents had started the bidding, you would also bid 1-0 trump as well. So this is a very good classic example of a 1-0 trump opening bid on the hand we just saw, and the auction went 1-0 trump, pass, 1-0 trump, pass, pass, pass. So the 1-0 trump showing 15 to 17 is a traditional method. There are plenty of, what happens if this hand doesn't have 15 to 17 points? Well, if he has at least 12 points, he should open in his longest suit. And I think I mentioned a little while ago the 5-card major system. So if he doesn't have a 5-card major, he has to open one of the longer minor suit, which is diamonds or clubs. So let's see another hand now and see what you would open on that. Right, and if you haven't got 15 to 17 points, which is the easiest one, and by the way, you have to have something in every suit, i.e. you mustn't have only one of any of the suits or none of them, because when you go for no trumps, you want to have some cover in every suit. This example here that we have in front of us is 13 points, 3, 5, 6, 10, 12, 13. Again, fairly easy to add up. And that can't open 1-0 trump because that would show 15 to 17 points. So you would mislead your partner. Instead, though, you've got more than 12 points. So you want to tell your partner that good news, and you open with 1 diamond, which is the longer of these. In fact, it's your longest suit. Even if you had 1 more heart, you would open 1 diamond, because we've decided that we're going to play the 5-card major system, so that you need 5 cards in hearts or spades to open the bidding. So we can look at now responding, because the hand before went 1-0 trump, pass, pass, pass. 1 diamond, however, doesn't necessarily limit the hand to 15 to exactly 12 points, and could have any number up to about 20 points, so that the partner will want to respond and keep the bidding open if partner has. And traditionally, to respond to a partner's opening bid, we have 6 points. And this brings us to a sort of a nice simple rule. To open, you need 12. To respond, you need 6. And that's been established as a pretty hard and fast rule for 50 years of bridge, really. And let's look at a responding hand in a moment. Okay, this is the hand that partner had in response to the 1 diamond bid. So the bidding had gone 1 diamond from your partner, which we saw a little while ago, and the next hand didn't have anything to say, as it happens, and he passed. And now we could pass with 1 diamond because we haven't got a lot of points, but the point is that we might have a better place to play, or partner might have a very good hand. So we should respond when we have 6 points, and we should respond at the most convenient level, i.e. at the 1 level if possible, as low as possible, because we haven't got a very good hand. We don't want to go too high, and if we bid 1 heart, that'll allow partner to bid again. If partner has a very good hand, or partner can go for no trumps, or partner might go for diamonds again, partner might go for clubs. Anything could happen. It keeps all the options open, really, if we respond on this hand. So we've got always have to have 4 cards in the suit to bid. But we don't need to have 5 when we're responding. So there's a big difference here between responding in a major suit and opening in a major suit. In our established system, the European and American system, popular system of 5-card majors, we need 5 cards in the suit to open, and to respond, we need 6 points and at least a 4-card suit to respond. If we haven't got a 4-card suit but have got 6 points, or maybe the 4-card suit is below partner suit, we would have to go to the 2 level, and that requires us to have 9 points. or ideally 10, 9 or 10 points to go to the 2 level, because that's a level higher, 8 tricks instead of 7, and that's why the better hand we have, the more we usually bid. So this is a good example of responding 1 heart, and partner will now make a further bid to describe his or her hand further. Okay, our final part of our basic introduction to bidding, and we can only really scratch the surface of what is a very interesting and complex area of bridge, which you will learn more as you go along, is the overcall. So we had the opening bid, which required 12 points. We had the response, which required 6 points. And we now had an overcall, which requires 10 points. And to overcall, you should have 5 in the suit. These rules aren't sort of hard and fast, and there are many a loose cannon that sort of goes their own way in bridge, but they are generally less successful. So if you follow the basic rules, you will do much better. So here we have an example of a hand with 11 points. We'll count it through 4, 6, 7, 11. Okay, and it's got a 5-card suit. And we had, if for example the opponents opened 1 diamond, as they did a little earlier, you would overcall 1 spade. You wouldn't have opened 1 spade on the hand, but you will overcall 1 spade. That'll help your partner to stop the opponents making a contract as well. So bidding is sometimes competitive. You're having to judge how high to go, and you're using the bits of information from the jigsaw that's building up as you have the auction. And it's a rich game of great fun, and we'll look at more elaborate parts to it later on. I hope you enjoyed this video and look forward to seeing you next time.